Hello there. Hi, everyone. I am still a Rose in the flesh. I wanted to talk about love today, being that Valentine's Day was yesterday, but it was on another topic of love. My concern is what's happening with our children. How did it go from playing hopscotch in the front of the street, on the street, in the sidewalks, to harming one another, gang violence, hurting each other? How did we go from playing hopscotch, basketball, all the other childlike games that we played, to murdering your own peers? What happened? Where is the love? Where is the love? How could this have happened? And where are the adults? What makes a child decide one day, I want to harm others in the worst way? Where are the parents? Where are the guardians? Could it be that we are spending so much time with ourselves that our children are being ignored? And we may see signs that something is going on with our children, and we are ignoring that. But for a child to take the life deliberately of other children, I'm concerned that it's parents' responsibility to see things that are not right. A child just doesn't wake up one day and say, I want to hurt somebody. They develop those types of needs. And why did they develop those types of needs? What kind of backgrounds did they have? I bet most of it has come from neglect, where that child hasn't had anyone spend an ounce of time with them to talk to them, see how their day went. And the next thing you know, it just gets worse and worse till this kid starts developing this need to do trouble, to have trouble, because they're troubled. What happened to Sunday school? What happened to the kids all getting together, going to bowling? I tell you one thing, those cell phones are the death of us. I have family gatherings, and my young people are glued to their phones during the whole time. And where did that come from? The disconnect came from those phones. It came from families not spending quality time with their children, sitting down, looking at them eye to eye, what's going on. If they don't have God in their lives, the devil is going to reach for them, and the devil is going to do everything he can to kill, steal, and destroy, because that's what devils do. That's their plan. That's their motive, is to hurt us, to harm us. And these children you're not going to tell me these children just wake up one day and say, I'm going to hurt somebody. It's no way. No one can tell me. Somebody in that household knows that child is troubled, and they ignored them. And as a result of being ignored 100%, they get angry. And you know what? They take it out on other children because the other children appear to be happy. And they want everybody to be miserable the way they are miserable. But we as parents are so consumed in our own lives that we neglect to see the pain in our children's eyes, or we see it and say we'll deal with it later. And doing that causes so much havoc in these babies' lives. I see people that have come from when they say the village, it takes a village to raise a child. It does. It does. My baby is 12. His dad is not in his life the way he should be. But do you think I'm going to allow that issue to hinder him from being the best that he can be? No. These children have so many hardships. I have another girlfriend who adopted two boys, two brothers. One can't seem to conform to a good lifestyle. So what does he do? He tears up the school. He's just so angry with the world. But guess what? It's because of what he's been through as a child. He was neglected. We don't know, because they haven't been able to get that out of him, what is making him so angry. Psychologists, counselors, you have a big job. Do something with that degree you have. Get to learn why these children are so hurtful, so angry, so filled with hatred. Pastors, the same thing. You have a responsibility. We can't ignore this anymore. We have to come together as one to see why our children are so much in pain, enough to kill another child and kill several. Something is wrong with that picture. And we react to the high school murders. But what about the black on black crimes that we see every day? We hear about every day in these inner cities. Something has got to be done. Why another child of 17 feels it's okay to take another child's life at 16 or 15. Something is truly wrong. But I can tell you one thing, prayer out of schools, that's deadly. We should not have ever done that. When I went to school, we said a prayer in the morning. I'm 55 years old. That went away, and I don't understand how that could go away. But as a result of it going away, our children are lost. Our children are lost. You guys are so focused on buying them the best tennis shoes, the high-end cell phones, the top of the line, the games, the video games. But if you fill them with all those gifts and you're not there to be in their lives, and you not knowing what's going on in those heads, the results are going to be more of what just happened. We got to get serious. I saw it on the news at my job. People were just walking by because it is happening so much. People are oblivious to it. How can you walk by a television that's showing 17 children have been killed by another kid? And the focus right now is the fact that the kid is Hispanic? Really? Really? His race comes into play? These children are troubled. And they're disrupting. Can you imagine what those children's lives are going to be like, who were sitting there hiding and hearing those shots on it? I cried watching it at work just because I heard the sounds and I knew one of those bullets was hitting a child. Somebody's child did not come home. Parents, we have to be there for our children. They don't have anybody but us. It starts with us. Churches, we have to take responsibility. Teachers, You have to, if you see something, you have to say something. Shrinks, counselors, come on now. Come on now. This has got to stop. This has got to stop. Parents, young parents who don't take their children to church. I know a lot of church people are too snooty. They make you feel uncomfortable. It's not about you. It's about that baby that you have given birth to. You have a responsibility to make sure your child knows God, because that's all they're going to have. That's all the protection they're going to have, because these kids' parents could not protect them yesterday. Their parents were not there at the school to shelter them from those bullets. They weren't there. All we have is God. So those of you who have been too busy to take your babies where they worship God and they learn about God so they can learn to pray, y'all, it's going to be terrible. They're young babies going to jail because they get caught up with the wrong crowds. There are so many people out there, kids out there that are hurt. They are hurt because they're neglected. They're hurt because they don't even know why they're hurt. There's some that just are following the wrong crowd because they're getting attention. We have a responsibility. We have to do a better job with our children. It broke my heart to know that I had to raise my baby on my own. But I tell you one thing, I knew I had a responsibility, and I knew he needed a man in his life. So I was clever. I not only got him in church, he's been in church since he could barely walk. Matter of fact, since he was an infant. And I got him connected with the coaches. So, and then my boyfriend is prevalent in his life. I wouldn't have it any other way. We have a responsibility, young women who have these children. We got to surround them by people that can help them when we can't, because my son's not going to tell me everything. I already know that. He's 12. So I have him in a circle of people, somebody he'll be able to talk to when he needs to. And you better bet if he's hurting, and I'm going to know about it because I'm always talking to him. I'm always asking him questions. And discipline. What happened to discipline? Why are we trying to be these children's friends? Why don't they get punishments? Why don't they get timeouts? Why don't they get all those nice gifts confiscated when they don't behave, when they disrespect teachers, when they disrespect parents, when they disrespect elders? What is going on with our world? Where is the love? Where is the attention? Why are we so busy? We're forgetting about what's the most important thing, our babies. That's all we have. They're our future, and they're out here killing each other. We have a responsibility. We have to do something. Only we can do something. Only we have to take responsibility. We have to find out why these children are hurting each other. Why aren't we collectively, if I see my neighbor is too consumed, why aren't I going to her house, pick up her kid and take her kid where my kid is going? That's what we have to do. It takes a village. We have to look out for our children, because I'm telling you now, if we don't, the ones that are 12, 13, they're not going to make it to high school. And when they do make it to high school, they're not going to make it to college, because all of this bitterness and hatred, it is just getting worse. It is just getting worse. And it's all because, in my opinion, they don't know God. They don't know God, because you know what? If they did, they would be talked out of that. They wouldn't have made it all the way through. It wouldn't have happened to the way that it did happen. He and they would have had a change of heart. But when you don't have God in you, evilness takes over, can consume you, because you don't have a shield. You're not protected. You're not protected if you don't have God in your life. And these children don't have they don't have any direction on their own. They need their parents to direct them. We got to do better. We got to do better. Oh, wow. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Barbies. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Mike. Hi, Queenie. All I want to say is spend more time with your children. If you don't have any, help the neighbor's kid, because our babies are lost. They're lost. And when I think about my son, you know, dad living, 8 miles away down the street, and he not taking the time out to go to this boy's honor roll assembly, go to a game and see him shoot 3 points, make a touchdown, run 75 yards. I'm speaking of things that he has accomplished. Sing in the choir. He can make your eyes you just cry, because you're like, wow, I was a part of this. And it's such a blessing. But to know his father's not in his life, and to think how easy it is for him to get angry and to take it out on the world. These are the things like this is what compounds to make these children do the things that they do. So just say my son gets mad that he goes to a game and sees the mama and the daddy there, and his mind starts playing tricks on him. That's why I try my best to keep him connected to God, because God will help him through that. And I will do my best to help him with that. But I don't know what's in that head of his. So he needs God to help him with what's in his head. Because those children who don't have their parents together, they go through a lot of stuff. And then some children that have their parents together, then there's abuse, child neglect. So I can say 1 minute it makes sense to your child. I'm getting kind of frustrated, because I feel like there are answers to these problems, and nobody's listening. Nobody seems to care, because it seems like everybody is focusing on themselves. But we just lost 17 children, didn't even get to graduate. And the history just keeps repeating itself. We got to do something. We got to do something. We got to care more. We have to give more than we receive. And we got to stop gifting these kids and make like that's going to make up for what we know we're not giving these kids. And one thing I will say, I'm going to do my darnest to make sure my child has that circle, that positive circle around him at all times, to the best of my ability. And I'm going to keep praying over him. And I hope you all do the same with your children and your loved ones. And we got to make everybody else stand up to the plate. We got to find out what's going on in these children's heads. We got to send them to church. We got to get them involved in positive things, get them off those stupid video games. We got to come together to make these children stop hating each other and hurting each other. We got to keep them busy. Keep them in sports so they don't have time. Keep them busy so they don't have time to get the devil in their head. Because this little boy had the devil in him. He was not, somebody didn't love him. And he took it out on everybody else. Somebody didn't love him and he took it out on everybody else. So, on that note, I'm leaving. I'll see you next Thursday. What I want you to take out of this is we got to love our kids. We got to love our kids. We have to give them all the attention that they need so that they can be as successful as they can be. We have to start making them more a priority in our lives, so that we won't lose them to the streets. Because if we lose them to the streets, we lose them. If we lose them to that hatred, we lose them. We have to come together and take care of our babies. I'll see you guys next time. Hey, Michael, I love you. I'm still a Rose. We're going to get through this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.